The battle over the constitutionality of flag burning looks to be headed to the Supreme Court. Hours after President Trump signed an executive order calling for the vigorous prosecution of anyone who burns the American flag, a protester outside the White House did just that and was arrested.
I'm burning this flag as a protest to that illegal fascist president that sits in that house.
A man who says he is a 20-year combat veteran was booked for what officials say is a violation of fire code. But it came before the ink was even dry on Trump's executive order that acknowledges the Supreme Court decided long ago the First Amendment protects flag burning in this country. James Sample is back with us. The quote we just showed from Trump's EO reads fully this: notwithstanding the Supreme Court rulings on First Amendment protections, the court has never held that American flag desecration conducted in a manner that is likely to incite imminent lawless action or that amounts to fighting words is constitutionally protected. In 1989, did Supreme Court justices leave some ambiguity? Is there reason to believe that there are these kinds of exceptions?
The court left zero ambiguity in 1989. They left zero ambiguity again the following year in 1990. And Chris, I think the quote that we just put up on the screen with the highlighted portion, you talk about the highlighted portion speaking to the moment in time where we find ourselves. When you start with an executive order, a paragraph in an executive order drafted presumably by members of OLC in the White House, with notwithstanding...
So lawyers.
Right, lawyers. Notwithstanding the Supreme Court's rulings on First Amendment protections is your introductory clause. We've lost the plot. We have lost the plot. And the way that I would phrase this in the most simple terms, not to be condescending or anything like that to viewers, but think about Schoolhouse Rock civics, right? So how does a bill become a law? Bicameral passage plus presentment and signature by the president, right? An executive order, there's a place for executive orders, but on the food chain of law, executive orders are underneath statutes. Statutes have been tried multiple times, including, you referenced 1989 in Texas v. Johnson, which is one of the cases that struck down a anti-flag burning statute. The apex predator on the food chain of law is the Constitution. So if statutes, which are above the executive orders on the food chain, are being struck down as unconstitutional by the apex predator, the Constitution, an executive order trying to do the very thing that the statute could not do is unconstitutional.
There's another fascinating part of this for me. When the constitutionality of flag burning was decided 36 years ago, it was Justice Antonin Scalia who cast the tie-breaking vote. For people who don't know their Supreme Court history, staunch conservative, originalist. If a flag-burning case then, this flag-burning case, should make its way to this Supreme Court, do you think they take it up?
I don't know that they would take it up, but to reference your point, I doubt it. Maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't. This court is very conservative. But to your point about Justice Scalia, one of his all-time great quotes, in 2015, so this is long after he'd cast that vote, he was giving a speech. And in 2015, he said, I'm quoting here, "I would jail every sandal-wearing, scruffy-bearded weirdo who burns the American flag, if he could. But I am not king." That's the difference between Justice Scalia and Donald Trump.
James Sample, thank you.